I just pressed my own go live, so I think that we are live now. This is on very tightly. Hold on. Some technical issues. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Angelique Alexander. I came to the Rose Garden because I was living in an apartment in Oakland during the pandemic, and in March of 2020 I had nowhere to go to practice. Everything was a hard shutdown, and my building management threatened me with eviction if I practiced in my apartment. And I started singing, and I still had to sing for stuff, and I went to the East Coast, spent time at my sister's house, and when I came back here, I really wanted to practice, but I had nowhere to do it. So one of my friends suggested that we come down to the Rose Garden and that I could try and practice here. But it very quickly became an impromptu performance, and since then it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And so thank you for everybody that's here and supporting me, and I appreciate everybody. I have people from all over the country from work. I have friends from my local watering hole just up the street, the alley on Grand Avenue, and people from the garden who have been here before. So thank you for being here. I'm excited. Today's program came because the second concert of this season was fan favorites, and I asked people what their favorite songs were, and across the board everybody was like, oh, I loved everything but the Carmen. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to do a Carmen concert, which I had done a Carmen concert my first season in the Rose Garden in 2020, but now this is a updated version with other gypsy-styled music. If you would like translations, you want to follow along with what's being said, Rebecca is handing out programs for me. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Rebecca, you could wave just so that way people see you. Yeah, so wave her down if you want to follow along with the translation, since I will be singing in a variety of different languages. And we'll get started. Okay, welcome. So this first song, the first 7 songs are a set of music. So they're typically done together in a row without introduction in between. So I'm not going to do it that way because this is my show and I get to do it the way that I want it. And I want to introduce each one of these because they're very different in their flavors, but they're also really short songs. So very quick songs that will go by really quickly, and they're really beautiful. And it's very nice because instead of using the backtrack from YouTube, which I had to use for the first few times that I was doing these pieces, I actually have my boyfriend accompanying me, even though he's not here. He did the tracks for all of these, so you'll get to hear him play. He's a wonderful concert pianist, Jonathan Levin. So you guys will get to hear a little bit of him too. This first song is about a shop owner who is looking through their store and finds a fabric that has a stain on it, and it's an expensive fabric, and they're just so upset that it has a stain on it. So the same shock that you would feel if your most valuable thing was destroyed and now valueless, and you were depending on that money. So that's the gist of that first one, and I hope you guys like this.
Angelique,
short song. Thank you. So these songs get more intense as they go on. Move this back a little bit. These songs get a little more intense as they go on, as they progress. And so this next one is interesting. It's about not throwing stones if you live in a glass house, basically. That's what it says in the beginning. That's like the first couple lyrics, saying like those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. And it's kind of interesting because it ends on the thought of like, this person is clearly judging someone for like cheating or something. And it's like, I'll compare you to a peso that gets passing from hand to hand till it's finally worn down, and believing it false, no one will touch it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty harsh right there, but also valid. So kind of fun song, quick, and I hope you guys like this one. Quiero que te haldo, tenga de vidrio. Tenga de vidrio, quiero que te haldo, tenga de vidrio. No tiene tierra piedras, o de betino. Arrierosemos para que en el camino, nos encontremos. Por tu mucha constancia yo te comparo. Yo te comparo, por tu mucha constancia yo te comparo, con peces de que corre de mano en mano. Que al fin se pura y creyendo en la pasa, nadie lo toma. Nadie lo toma. Quick little song. All right, cool. Hey, I see you. Oh, I do. So sorry, I haven't seen my friend in a long time. She's been traveling, world traveler. So this next song is really, really stunning. It's one of the ones that made me want to learn this set in the first place. It's about somebody who is grieving someone. And, you know, a lot of times in grief, we seek out nature. And this is the perfect place to be singing a song like this, like surrounded by these beautiful flowers and these beautiful plants. And so this person goes to seek out help and consolation from a tree. But instead of receiving consolation, the tree, I guess it is a type of consolation, the tree weeps with the person who's mourning. And so it was interesting because when I did the poem, I translated this poem and I shared it with my brother who's El Salvadorian. And when he heard this song, he was like, oh my God, the poem matches the music exactly. Like you can hear the tree, you can hear the crying of the tree. So this is a really beautiful song, and I hope you guys all enjoy it. And if you just came in and you would like a program, Rebecca is going around with translations. Since I am singing in a variety of languages today, I'll be singing in, this is all Spanish, but then French coming up and some other stuff. So if you'd like a copy of the translations, we've got those for you. Cool. More friends. Yes. Thank you. That one, there's a tree that's like back there that always reminds me. It's kind of like tilted, and it kind of looks like it would be a tree that would be crying with me if I was crying. So I always look towards that tree. FYI, whenever I sing that. So this next song is really fun and kind of lighthearted, and the idea behind it is like your significant other parents don't approve of you. And so, we've all had difficult experiences with in-laws and whatnots and stuff. And so the whole premise is that they don't really like you, and it doesn't matter. You still love your person. They're your person, right? And so the last, verse of this song is, goodbye, my love. I say goodbye to you, to your house, to your windows, and to your disapproving mother. I will see you tomorrow. I love you so much, even though your mother disapproves. So kind of fun and silly and cute. That one's kind of cute and fun. Thank you. My name is Angelique, for anybody who just came into the room. We do have some programs, I think. So if you would like a copy of the translations, since I'm singing in a wide variety of languages, Rebecca's got translations. Can wave her over. This would not be possible without a lot of people that help me. Brian's also got some translations. This would not be possible without a lot of people behind the scenes. Brian C., who always helps me on tech, and Rebecca and various other members of my adopted family on the West Coast that always help me hand out programs, and support of my mom. and all the other people that make this possible. And I have so many people here from work things and from the garden that I haven't seen in a while, and people from the alley, which is just up the street, a wonderful bar that's my regular spot. And I'm just really appreciative of all the love and everybody that's here. Thank you. So next song, I just want to, say that again. This next song makes me feel that feeling because it's a lullaby, and it makes me feel all the mushy feelings. So that's why those mushy feelings were coming up for me, because this next song is, not only is it a lullaby, but when my brother-in-law read the words, he was like, oh, that's like basically what I sing to the boys when they're giving me trouble. I don't sing that melody, of course, but that's the words that I sing to I have 2 little nephews, a third on the way. And so that's what he sings to them when they're giving him a hard time. So it put a whole new spin on this song for me, and it's so sweet. And so it's what you would sing to a baby, saying that you're my soul, please sleep, you little star, in the morning I'll see you. And this is a lullaby, sleep, my little star. So. You. All right. We are making our way through these. I told you, they go by pretty quick. Next one is really interesting because I had such a hard time finding a translation for this song. So I actually sent it, if you were at the last Rose Garden concert, I called a gentleman up to sing with me at the very end, and I've never done that before, my friend Ramiro. And Ramiro is the person who I asked to translate this because he does a lot of songs that are art song, like Spanish art songs. So he's used to the poetry that comes out, which can kind of be a little funky in translating. So he gave me this, love you not and never have. What is gained isn't worth what has been lost. Oh God, Mother, help me. So that's like a pretty intense song, and it's really beautiful, and it sounds so upbeat, and the words are so sad. It's the one song that is in this set that doesn't really match, like the sound doesn't really match the feelings, but I'll do my best, so see how that goes. Podredores tus ojos voy a enterrarlos, podredores tus ojos voy a enterrarlos. Dicen que no me quieres, ya me has querido. Dicen que no me quieres, ya me has querido. Fallas de lo ganado, dale rey, por lo perdido, madre aleluya, por lo perdido, madre. All right. Thanks. All right. We are getting to the last song of this set. This one is kind of interesting. So I don't know if you guys have been able to tell, but this is Spanish music that I think I wrote last time. It's in the Catalonian region, but it's like that style. The composer is that style, De Falla. And it's very flamenco influenced, which is why it's on this program in the first place, because it kind of goes with the vibe of Carmen. But this next song, for real, like could have been one of the like extra songs in Carmen, because it's about like somebody who's lost something and lost a lover and feels betrayed. And as they're speaking, they can't even get out the words. Like every time that you see the word I in the translation or you hear me sing I, that's because I literally can't speak. Like that's what the person is going through. They can't even finish the sentence. So a really like beautiful and heartbreaking song. And it is really difficult to count this one. So my boyfriend spent countless hours. You see what I did there? He spent a lot of hours making sure that I would be able to count this. So thank you to him for being so patient with me, because it was rough. Very flamenco-esque. Thank you. All right. So we are now on to the Carmen portion of this concert. If you are new to the room and would like a copy of the translations, I believe that Rebecca has copies of translations, and Brian has one copy of the translation. So if you'd like a copy and would like to follow along, wave us down so that way Rebecca can come over and bring that. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, this next one is really cool. This is the start of our Carmen. This is the very first scene that she is in, and I sing this song quite a bit, and it's not my best favorite, but everybody loves this song. Everybody else loves the song, right? The one way that I do love it, though, is with the recit. It's the very first thing that Carmen says when she gets on stage. She says, "When will I love you? maybe never, maybe tomorrow, but definitely not today. That's for certain. And then she goes on, proceeds to talk about how love is a gypsy bird that you have no control over, and that if you love me, I don't love you. But if you don't love me, you're the one that I want. And if I want you, beware. So she tells all the guys straight up front from the beginning. I don't know why she gets such a bad rep, but she tells everybody from the beginning exactly who she is, how she is, and this is extra special because, as I said, I regularly go to the alley up the street, and one of the most amazing piano players that I know, Brian Seat, who is also on tech and helping out with all of this to make this happen, is the one who did the accompaniment for this. So thank you, Brian, for another thing that you did. Thank you, Brian Seat. Yeah. Playing with me outside on piano, even without a piano being here in front of us. So. There we go. Quand je vous aimerai, ma foi, je ne sais pas, peut-être jamais, peut-être demain, mais pas aujourd'hui. C'est certain. L'amour est deux heures belles que nul ne peut apprivoiser. Et c'est bien avec qu'on l'appelle celui qu'on vient de refuser. En effet, mais dans sous prière, le parle bien, l'autre était. C'est l'autre que je préfère. Il n'a rien dit, mais il me plaît. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je te me regarde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Que tu cries si prendre petite et l'on s'envola. L'amour lui te peut l'attendre, tu ne l'attends, puis il est là. Et de vite, il vient s'en va, puis il revient. Et tu lui tenir, il débite, tu crois vite, et il te tient. L'amour est un vent de bohème. Il n'a jamais connu des lois. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je te me prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Thank you. So that's one that a lot of people have heard before. It comes up a lot, in pop culture. Really crazy story. So Bizet wrote this in, I believe it was 1875, 1865. I always get it confused. So he wrote it, but he premiered it in France, and it was a complete flop. Everybody hated the music. Everyone was like, this is a terrible opera. No woman would ever have that kind of power over a man to make him go so crazy that he would kill her, right? That's absurd. This is trash. Your whole life's work, garbage. And he died within that year, and the next year it premiered in I think it was in a London theater, and was a smashing success, became one of the most performed operas in the world to this day. And he never got to see it be this successful, but yeah, lots of beautiful music out of this, and you guys might recognize some of them and you might not, but definitely if you've never seen an opera before, I strongly recommend Carmen is the one to go to. It's got a lot of fun music. It's got everything you want in one opera. It's got love and death and sex and romance and thievery and just knife fights. You put everything that's in a good movie is in this. It's great. So this next song is usually performed as a duet, but I don't have anybody to duet with me, so I'm doing it by myself. So this song is the Seguidilla from Carmen. And let me set the scene. This is still in Act 1. This is not long after we've met Carmen. She works in a cigarette factory. And while she's working in the cigarette factory, she gets into a knife fight with another girl. Carmen's a little rough. And even in the 1800s, it was illegal to cut a girl's face. You couldn't just do that. And so she gets arrested, as you would imagine, for that. And when she gets arrested, this guy who she was singing to in the last song, who she's already set her sights on and wasn't paying any attention to her in that last song, he's the one who's in charge of her, Don Jose. And she says to him, "You're already in love with me, and you don't even know it." She throws a flower at the end of the habanera towards him, and she says, "The flower that I threw at you, it was an enchanted flower, and now you're in love with me, and there's nothing you can do about it." And he's like, "You're crazy. Shut up. Don't talk to me." So she says, "All right, you don't want me to talk? I won't talk." And she proceeds to talk about how she sings about how she's going to go to her friendly Las Pastias, and she's going to drink manzanilla and dance the seguidilla, and things will be so nice at her friendly Las Pastias, and she's on the look for a new lover, and anyone who would have her, she would take them. And, she is just on her own in the world and looking for somebody to fill that hole for her. And so then Don Jose is like, "Shut up, I told you to stop talking." And she's like, "I'm not talking. I'm just singing to myself about a certain man, certain officer over here that I would love to get to know better." And by the end, of course, he falls for her shenanigans and he lets her go, and he ends up going to prison for her. So, you get what you pay for. But she tells him like it is, but. So I'll be doing both parts. I'll be doing Don Jose and Carmen for this. We'll see how that goes. Vous me défendez de parler? Je ne parlerai plus. Ridira poi de Sevilla, chez mon ami Las Bastia, j'irai danser la seguidilla, boire Zandia. Dirige mon ami Lila Spostia. Oui, mais tout est silencieux et les vrais plaisirs sont dodus. Donc pour me tenir compagnie, j'emmènerai mon amoureux. Mon amoureux, il est admirable. Je l'ai mis à la portière. Mon pauvre cœur très consolable. Mon cœur libre comme l'est. Je décale à la douzaine, mais il ne se passe à mon gré. Voici le fin de la semaine. Qui veut m'aimer, je l'aimerai. Qui veut mon âme, elle est à propre. Vous arrivez au bon moment. Je ne garde le temps de tordre, car avec mon nouvel amour, près des rapports de Séville, chez mon ami Las Pastia, j'irai danser la Séguédia, boire du Mozandia. Oui, j'irai chez mon ami Las Pastia. Toi, je t'avais dit de ne pas me parler. Je ne te parle pas, je chante pour moi-même, je chante pour moi-même. Et je pense, il n'est pas défendu du passé. Je pense certains officiers, je pense certains officiers qui m'aiment et comme tout, oui comme tout, je pourrais bien aimer. Mon officier n'est pas un capitaine, pas même lieutenant. Il n'est pas brigadier, mais c'est déhassé pour une bohémienne. Et je digne à ma côté, Carmen, je suis comme un mivre. Si je cède, si je me livre, ta promesse, tu la tiendras. Ay, si je t'aime, Carmen, Carmen, tu m'aimeras. Oui, nous danserons la séguétille et buvons du Mozania. Des rapports de Séville, chez mon ami Las Pastia, nous danserons la séguétille et boirons du Mozania. Thank you. Hi, I'm Angelique. Welcome in if you are just joining us. We do have some translations left if you'd like to follow along, since I am singing in a variety of languages here. So Rebecca has translations if you just like kind of wave her over and she'll be able to head to you with those translations. Cool. So we are getting through this program. This next song is in Act 2 of Carmen. We are going through Carmen in like its chronological order in terms of the pieces. This next song is it's the Dance of the Gypsies, and so they're hearing music and they're making music and there's like tambourines going and everybody's dancing, and Carmen's kind of off to the side for most of this. She's singing, but she's not dancing with everybody. her boyfriend, Don Jose, the one that she just seduced in the last song, has gone to prison. And she's sad that he's gone to prison. He's been in prison for a month, and she's been feeling very, very lonely without his company, even though there's plenty of other guys who have been, coming around. She's like, oh, no, I'm so broken up about Don Jose. And so her friends are all dancing, and they're listening to this song. And when I think of this song, some of my friends here know the kind of music that I like to get down to. And so I always channel my inner, Drake feelings when I'm listening to this. Or, when I'm singing this, I try to, channel, how I would feel if I was, listening to one of those songs. That makes me, get in my little dance mood. And so, because that's what happens to Carmen. At the end of the song, she's like, fine, I'll dance. Okay. So it's got a long intro, but I think you guys will like this song. It's a fun one.
Tra le désastre de Dieu, avec une éclat métallique, et sur cette étrange musique, les égards le souleva. D'abord débasculer le train, et le guitare forcenée, graissait aux dames obstinées, mais mes chansons, mes refrains, mes chansons, mes refrains. Les anneaux découvrent d'argent, reluisent sur les peaux bistrées, des rouges, des rouges abrées, les étoffes fait flotter au vent. La danse chante mariée, la danse chante mariée, d'abord indise timide, plus vite ensuite et plus rapide, c'est la montée, 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 tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la,
So, a little bit of, I don't know, something at the end. I was kind of freaking out about it this morning. Hopefully that went not as bad as it went in practice. Thanks, guys. All right, so thank you. This is why I have all my friends in the audience, so that way they boost me up. Everybody is friends now, so, like, once you're here, that's it. You're part of my friends. Next song. So we are in Act 3. We don't get to Act 4 today because Act 4 is all duet stuff, and I can't do that one by myself. Like, there's two part. I can't do it. So we're gonna, as far as like in acts, we're ending with the third act for today's concert. As far as the Carmen rep, this song is normally done as a trio, but there is an aria is a song from an opera. The first 7 songs were art songs that are poems that are standalone pieces that were set to music. Since this is from an opera, this is an aria. There is an aria in the middle of this trio. So that's what you guys are going to hear right now. Basically what happens is her friends are telling their fortune because they're gypsies and they're out and about and telling their fortunes as for fun to entertain themselves. And one sees like herself marrying this handsome, like beautiful man, and another one sees herself marrying this old but very wealthy man who's about to croak, and they're getting these great fortunes. And Carmen says, let me give a try. Let me see what I get. And she comes over and she flips the cards, and she sees that she's got death. Every time she shuffles, she reshuffles. Every time she sees death. And she sees death at the hands of Don Jose, the man who has so far been her lover for this whole opera. And she sees it coming, and she says, there's nothing you can do. If this is what fate has in store for you, there's no changing it. If your ending is a happy ending, great. That's so fortunate for you. But for me, again and again, I see death. So pretty dark, but a beautiful, beautiful piece. One of my favorites from the opera. So I hope you guys like this one. Thank you. So that one is a pretty intense song, but I really like that one. This next one, we're getting closer to the end here. We've got 3 more songs. I've got 3 more songs left for you. So this next one is to bring a little bit of lightness to that darkness. This is also in the 3rd act of Carmen. And this is the aria that basically like the opposite character of Carmen. Carmen's like this dark gypsy woman who's very seductive and everything she kind of touches gets poisoned, right? Like she wants it to go well, but it doesn't go well for her. And this other character, Micaela, is like the good girl next door. She's like the good girl that Don Jose was supposed to marry before he met Carmen. And so she's coming into the woods, into the mountains, and she's facing the mountains to find Don Jose to tell him that his mother is dying. And this is really important because it's an ongoing theme that Don Jose is kind of a mama's boy all through the opera. And so, like, the fact that his mom's dying, it's really, like, painful for him. And so Micaela is ready to battle the mountains, everything, to get the notice out to Don Jose that his mother is passing. Now, give me a little grace on this one. This is written for a soprano. It is very high. Very, very, very high. And so hopefully my voice will hold up through all of it. We'll see. You'll find out when I find out. Isn't that fun? So hopefully this goes well. Could have sworn I moved all the music I needed to into the front of my book, but apparently not this one. Thank you. Whew. Most of it came out. All right. Okay. So that is the Carmen portion of the program for today. That's the Carmen bit. This next part is back to Gypsy Land. This one is really fun for me. It's kind of a downer, so I didn't want to end on this one. That's why the program's a little bit longer, because I didn't want to end on such a downer. But the next one is really fun. Everybody loves this song. So this is from Il Trovatore, and the singer, the role for this is Azucena, and she's telling her son Manrico for the first time that he's not her son. She's had kind of like a horrific experience. This is in the late 1200s, late 13th century, and during the Spanish Inquisition. And she's just watched her mother get burned at the stake for being a witch. And so she kind of loses her mind a little bit, and she decides to take vengeance on the count who has punished her mother. And so what she does is she goes to the count's house, and she steals his son, and she's planning on throwing him in the flames that she just saw her mom perish in. And as she's about to throw him in the flames, this delirious fog comes over her, and my dad's like, "That's not realistic at all." And I'm like, I don't know. Have you ever watched somebody get burned in front of you, like alive? I don't know. And my dad was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point." Checked himself real quick. She witnesses this horrifying thing. She gets into this delirious fog. Her mother's last words were to avenge her, so she's really trying to. And she throws a baby in the fire, and then she looks next to her, and she sees the count's son, and she realizes she threw her own child in the flames in her madness, in her grief. And so this is a really dramatic song. First time I ever performed this, Brian Seat was like, "Whoa, what was that? You have to do that again." And so, a lot of people like this one. It's fun for me to perform, but, topic's a little morbid, but. Okay. Okay.
Libro Col deccoli gris birdi, come un sogno parvi, la vision veroli di spaventosi larvi, gli schiarri del supplizio, la madre smorda in volto, scalza, discendo, io grido, e noto grido, ascolto, mi vendico. La mano convulsa tendo, stringo la vittima, nel fuoco la tracco, la sospingo, ci s'affetta il delirio, l'orida scena fuggì, la fiamma su divampa, il soprete struggì, curva che torna mi guarda, innanzi a me veggio, te ne più conti il figlio. Il figlio mio bruciato. Ah, mio figlio mio, il figlio bruciato. Sul capo mio le chiame, sento drizzarsi ancor, drizzarsi ancor, drizzarsi ancor.
Thank you. We are getting towards the end of the program. If you would so be inspired to or like to, I do have a virtual tip jar. I also have a physical tip jar. So if you've enjoyed this is completely free of charge. This is just, but if you feel so inspired, great, that would be lovely. I would appreciate it, but no, don't feel obligated. And as far as coming up to say hello, I love meeting everybody. So please don't be a stranger, regardless of whatever you want to come up and just say hello. And if you would like to follow me on social media or get on my mailing list, I can give you a card and you can email me and I will put you on the mailing list. And now that I've started using it again, I would love to meet you all and say hello and be friends. And I promise that I don't bite. So we are on our last piece. I didn't want to end on such a downer, so I thought we would end on something really cute and happy. Normally, I only do one soprano aria. I broke my rule this time. I'm doing 2 soprano arias. We'll see if my voice holds out for this one too. Hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed. So this next piece is from, it's not quite Gypsy, but it's from La Bohème, which is like derived from Gypsy, right? Like that's what Bohemians, right? Like that's kind of what the feel is. So Bohème is it's my second favorite opera. Carmen is my first, Bohème is my second. I've seen both of them like a million times. If you're over Carmen, go see Bohème. Like it's fantastic. The music is so gorgeous, and I say that as somebody who doesn't get to sing any of those roles. So I love it still. It's like bread and butter to my, it's the honey to my soul. So this is the song where Mimi comes out. If you've seen Rent, is based on Bohème, and so this is the song where she's saying to light my candle, and that's what happens in the opera too. She asks for her candle to be lit. She has tuberculosis though, in La Bohème. And so because she has tuberculosis, she can't really go outside. She says from the beginning, like, everybody calls me Mimi. My name's Lucia. I don't know why they call me Mimi, but that's what they call me. And I'm kind of like stuck in my house most of the time because, like, I don't feel very well. I wonder what that feels like. None of us can relate to being stuck in our houses, right? Like none of us have experienced that. She's like, I'm cooped up in this apartment. But what's lovely is I'm on the top floor. So the very first flowers of spring are mine. The very first scents of April are mine. And she says, the flowers that I make. She talks about being very pious and living alone and all this other stuff. And like she talks again about like how these flowers mean so much to her. And she embroiders flowers. And she says, the flowers that I make, they have no smell. So with that, that's all I have to say for now. I'm just your neighbor who's come out this time to bother you. Bye. And it ends on a really cute note, and it's sweet, and hope you all like this, and I hope I can sing it. So we'll see how that goes. All right. If I can find my phone. Okay, here we go. Doesn't happen. Let's see if we can find where we were. Sorry. I just start the whole thing over? I don't know. Yeah? All right. Sorry, technical difficulties. The wind was blowing and it messed it up. All right, let's try that again one more time. Thanks for being so understanding and being friends. Si mi chiamano me, la storia mia è breve, a te la seta ricamo in casa in fuori. Son tranquilli e te mio svagor fargile roesi. Mi piaccion quelle cose che anzi mania che parlano in che parlano di sogni e di chimere, quelle cose che hanno nome poesia. Le mi intende? Mi chiamano me, perché non so, solo mi fai a brusole me stessa, non vado sempre a messa, ma prego assai, Signor. Vivo solo soletta, là in una bianca cameretta, guardo i suoi tetti in cielo. Ma quando venno schiava, il primo sole mio, il primo bacio una vaso, una rosa, foglie, foglie la spio, così certi il profumo i fior che I fior che ho faccio in me non hanno odore.
vien foridor importunare.
Thank you so much for being here, for supporting me, for coming out. If you would like to say hello, please come over and say hello. I believe the next one of these is September 25th. We're taking a little bit of a longer break, but September 25th will be the next one, and then there'll be one more in October. So down to the last two. Thank you so much. Angelique, nice to meet you all.